Hello everyone, this is Running on Empty Food Review. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone watching this. It is afternoon, 4:10 p.m. it is, so it's the heat of the afternoon. It's a hot day today, well in the 90s. And I said, gonna venture out no matter what and grab some Chick-fil-A. And I thought, well, I mean, in terms of the food reviewing world, in terms of this little enclosed space where we review food, there's not a lot going on. Granted, there's places testing everything, I mean, KFC has this new test of this new type of chicken coming out in Pennsylvania and Georgia, or I think it's actually Alabama. Burger King is testing a chicken fries dog. Taco Bell's testing like 5 different things. McDonald's is testing something else. Wendy's is testing something else. But none of these things have been nationally released. None of them are really available anywhere where I can get them. So that being said, it's kind of a slow week in that regard. Nothing's really been released nationally. So I thought, well, it's a good time to try something new. And how about do a Chick-fil-A review? Now this item is one of those things, I think, when you look at the menu, you see it, you know it's there, you might think about trying it out every now and then, but then you'll think, I don't know how this is going to taste. I'd rather just go with something that's tried and true that I know will taste good rather than just having to get this, and it's just, it's like a coin toss. I don't know how it's going to end up, how it's going to be, so we'll just pass on it. I think this is like the perfect example of it. It's the chicken strips from Chick-fil-A. They don't call it the chicken strips, it's the chick-in strips. It's got to have a dash and an N, and another dash, strips, because they have to do that silly sensationalized spelling of it like they always do. You can get a 3 or 4 piece of it. I got a 4 piece. It comes in this little box here, this decorative box. It says, "We're rolling out something big. One app, endless awesome." And also like to brag, they say our hand-breaded boneless breast of chicken is cooked in 100% refined peanut oil, which is naturally trans fat-free and cholesterol-free. And then you see right here this poor guy having to roll out the red carpet because it's just chicken strips, but they're making a big deal out of it. So anyways, here they are. They're chicken strips. When I laid eyes upon these, I was immediately disappointed. I'm not even going to lie to you. I was disappointed. You see it here. There it is. There's another angle, and here's the scandalous view from below. That's what it looks like there, too. But this is what it looks like. And, I'm not even going to lie. I was immediately disappointed. Because when you look at their menu, it's going to make it look like you're getting, some tender that's, 3 feet long. I mean, granted, it would never actually be that long, but they make them look like you're getting these long, juicy, chicken strips. It makes it look like you're getting a lot more than this, which is literally about as long as my finger right here. It has a nice thickness, but it's really short. And when you say a chicken strip, I just expect something a little longer than this. So anyways, that's what I have to say in terms of how it looks. We're just gonna bite in, take a few bites, and then just dip it in some Chick-fil-A sauce as well. I easily could have taken a few more bites, but you gotta also factor in, people say I take bites like a frickin' mouse. And look at how many bites it took for me to almost eat the whole thing, just about 3 or 4 bites. So the average person can probably down this in like half a bite, I guess. Just shove the whole thing in and not even swallow. That's how people seem to act, as though that's how people eat nowadays when they compare it to how I eat. I don't know, maybe that is how people eat. Maybe I'm just missing out on something, I don't know. If I just took this and just shoved it down, didn't even swallow it, I don't know. I've never done it. Who's to say? Alright, well, here's what it tastes like, the chick-in strip, as they call it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the chicken itself, when you bite in, granted, Chick-fil-A's chicken is always pretty much quality. You bite in, the chicken is pretty tender, pretty juicy, and you're going to notice the breading itself, there's not a lot of it. But you're going to notice, actually, the breading itself contributes almost a subtle little bit of a sweetness to it, which is surprising, but you will notice that. It does contribute a little bit of a sweetness. Okay. So you bite in, you're able to taste a bit of the chicken, a bit of the real juicy, tender chicken, a bit of the meaty flavor from it. Not too much saltiness, though, and I would have expected more of that in this chicken. But really, the breading contributes a little bit more of a very subtle sweetness, which you're going to notice, which I think it's always pleasant when you're able to get some chicken that has a sweetness in it, because I think it is an interesting little flavor that oftentimes goes very well with the chicken, but you don't usually see that one coming. All right, now we're just going to try it a bit more of the, let me get this here, with the Chick-fil-A sauce. I'm just going to dip it in here. Got it all ready to go. And one more bite. The Chick-fil-A sauce, I personally think, really adds a lot of flavor to this. I think the Chick-fil-A sauce, you bite in, you still get that juicy chicken flavor, but also now the Chick-fil-A sauce really adds you do get that subtle sweetness in the breading to begin with, but also now what this does is it also adds now a more pronounced sweetness, a more pronounced barbecue-y sweetness to it. Now, in so much that it already cancels out the sweetness that's embedded in the breading. However, this gives a much stronger sweetness in it, and gives a little bit of a barbecue-y flavor as well. Alright, they're pretty simple, they're small, and I was disappointed by the size, but they do taste okay. If I were to recommend Chick-fil-A do something to make these better, I would say that, number one, make them bigger. Of course, they wouldn't like to hear that, because that costs them more money now. Number two, add a little bit more breading on them. I think, what these are, I think they really could use a little bit more of a crunch to them. I think that, you could have a little bit of a saltiness added in the breading. That would kind of, make it a little bit more flavorful and add a little more diverse flavor to it than what it already is. So I really recommend that. And last but not least, if you do get these, and if you do, try them out, be aware of how small they are. And number two, make sure you get Chick-fil-A sauce with them, because you're probably going to really want that. It's really going to add a little bit of a poppin' type of flavor to it, so I do recommend that. Alright, price-wise for these were $4.29. It's around $1 per strip, and, I think these would have been better. Maybe they got to make money, of course, but I think these would have been best if they were around just maybe $3.50 than what they are, because you just got to, I know I keep bashing them on this, but they were so small. I was just so disappointed when I saw them, and maybe you would be too. I don't know, they portray them as being so much bigger, and they're just incredibly small, and it's just disappointing, that's all. So price, I think they're a little overpriced for what they are, but that's what I got. This giant napkin was from Pizza Hut. They're actually voted as having the #1 napkins in the U.S., believe it or not. You can look it up. They were best napkins. Alright, out of 10, what am I going to be rating from Chick-fil-A, the chicken strips, as they call them? I'm going to be rating these, I'm just going to have to give them a standard average 7.5 out of 10. And given how minusculely small they were, given the price of them, given the fact that they could be a little more flavorful, I think that's why they get the average rating, because they still tasted okay, but just nothing to rave over. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you. This is Running an Empty Food Review. I'm your host, Support of the Week. Chick-fil-A it was, and that's all I have for you. Take